What the fuck is this piece of shit? What the fuck is this? How did this happen? How is this even possible? Hey, I guess there's just a fucking 100 servers with 250 people playing on them. I guess that's just what happened. I'm sure these are all real, and I'm sure that if I join one of these servers, I'm not gonna get like my fucking credit card information isn't gonna go to some like Montenegrin goat fucker. Yeah, I'm certain these are legitimate numbers. How the fuck did this happen? How do you even fuck up to such an extent that you somehow have servers with 255 players out of 24 players? Like, how is that? That's not mathematically possible. Wow, somebody needs to tell these fucking rocket scientists at WoW, these fucking geniuses, that that's not how it works. I don't know, is my like TF2 copy hacked or some shit? Is this like this is a bug or something? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like these are fake servers that some fucking like bot farm created to like fucking log your IP or some shit. Like, I just don't get it. How do you fuck up a server browser? Like, this has been known and harnessed technology since like fucking 1997, and somehow Valve let it get they let it go to shit to such an extent. Like, how is this even possible? Like, that's my only question right now. Well, excuse me, I didn't even introduce you to the topic yet. I just kind of jumped in, but like I want to talk about the server browser, and very fittingly, I started this video off by just showing you like what it looks like. I don't know. Is this a me issue? Is my game fucked up, or is this like a fucking thing that people do? Like, they create like 250 player servers that are just completely fucking fake. I don't know. I don't fucking have any clue. But yeah, the topic that I want to talk about today is the server browser for Team Fortress 2. And it's got a lot of fucking problems, as you can already see. And of course, the reason why I'm talking about this topic and why I'm bringing this up is I have already mentioned a million times. I am of the opinion that casual matchmaking needs to be destroyed. It is a fucking plague on this game, and it ruins TF2. And I told you in my last video, the best way that we could unfuck this game and the best way that we could fight against this cancer is if we start a community server revolution. Now, let me just say, revolution is the fucking right word. Because getting TF2 players to actually play TF2, that truly is a revolutionary idea. Anyway, I want to do a deep dive into the community server browser for TF2, and I want to do a little study of it. Because I think most people that play this game, that the TF2 server browser is kind of fucked up. Community servers are just, they're not in a good state. But I don't think people understand just how fucked the whole thing is here. A while back, I made a video about TF2's most overplayed game mode, in which I stated that Payload is overrepresented to an extreme degree at the expense of other main TF2 game modes. Now, this is true for casual due to the casual rule set, which, just severely fucking negatively impacts most of the main game modes that aren't Payload. But, I also stated that Payload was also seriously overplayed in community servers as well, not just casual. But I would like to back up my claims today with actual data, right? And I want to prove beyond any reasonable doubt, the extent of Payload's overrepresentation, specifically in vanilla community servers. Now, to that end, recently a great tool called serverbrowser.tf has popped up on the old interwebs. It tracks TF2's server browser, and it removes most of the fake bullshit, like 200 fucking player servers, and it sorts all the real ones into separate categories, like vanilla, 24/7, comp, etc. Now, using this website, serverbrowser.tf, which I wholeheartedly recommend, great website, great tool, very useful. Using this website, we can check how many vanilla community servers there are to begin with that actually fill up, right? And we can also individually check every single server that we find, and we can check that server's most played maps. So let's just take a look at what we find. So I've collected some data on 3 separate regions, 3 different continents. Of course, the biggest and the most important one, North America. Also Europe, which is the second biggest. And then Asia, because why the fuck not? So, if I'm going to be so bold, I would like now to share with you these statistics. And of course, I know what you're thinking. Wow, this guy's talking about statistics. This is the most boring fucking video you've ever made yet, bro. Like, what is this shit? Hey, this is important. This is a fucking important topic, okay? This is something that needs to be understood. Listen, if you want to tackle the community server browser problem for TF2, and I mean that in the literal definition of that word, this is a problem that needs to be solved. If you were to solve this problem, firstly, you gotta understand it, right? And I really don't think people understand just how fucked the server browser is. Just how fucked up the state of community servers for TF2 is. For TF2 players that actually want to play something that isn't fucking Payload or fucking 24/7 2-fort every day. Like, the shit is completely fucked. Alright, so let's take a look at this data. Let's see what it says. And let's begin, of course, with North America, biggest region. And, okay, let me just right off the bat tell you how many options you have if you want to play on vanilla or, pseudo vanilla, somewhat stock TF2 community servers in North America. You have 6 options from what I can tell. At least that's all I could find. And, maybe I'm missing something, in which case, by all means, correct me in the comments and add in any other vanilla servers out there that are actually regularly filling up in NA. But I could find 6 options. So let's start with the biggest and the most entrenched network that has pretty much held a monopoly on community servers for however many fucking years since Meet Your Match. Of course, I am talking about Uncletopia. Now, of course, considering Uncletopia to be a vanilla server, I mean, you're fucking reaching there. But let's forget that. Don't worry about that. Right now, let's just take a look at what these fucking map rotations tell us, okay? I selected a random Uncletopia server, and I took a look at the maps, and here you go. Just take a look at that wonderful map rotation that you can find. Take a look at that. Just fucking, I mean, this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, I know, but it honestly is impressive. PL Badwater, PL Upward, PL Barblets, PL Frontier, PL Borneo, PL Pier, PL Snowy Coast, CP Dust Bowl, PL Swiftwater, and PL Thunder Mountain. You have 10 of the most popular maps, and out of those 10, 9 are fucking Payload. And the one exception is Dust Bowl. But of course, there's a lot of Uncletopia servers out there. Maybe this is just an exception. Maybe this one server is just a fluke. And maybe if we just went one by one and we checked every single Uncletopia, we would see that this is not always the case for this server. Nah, fuck it. Here, let me just show you 10 Uncletopias. If I may be so bold, I would like to say, maybe, possibly, just potentially, I'm starting to sense, with my GABA sense, just a little bit of a pattern here. Just a little bit. I'm not quite sure, but if you look close, if you look real close, there may be a pattern to these fucking maps. Honestly, like, there's something impressive about this. Like, the fucking dedication that this server has to playing one fucking game mode over and over again. Like, it's really, like, there's really something about it that you gotta respect, Uncletopia all maps. Yeah, all maps as long as it's Payload 90% of the time. Like, honestly though, like, it really is impressive. Like, they're almost all fucking identical. Like, it's like uniform, bro. That's I'd love to make a joke about this, but what is there to say? What can you even say about this, man? No, but really, are there like fucking 13 maps in the entire Unctopia rotation? Is that what's going on? Or do you get like fucking permabanned if you nominate a map that isn't Payload? Like, is that what's going on? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Like, what the fuck do you even say about this, man? So you have 10 Uncletopia servers. 5 of them have 90% Payload in the top 10, and 5 of them, a little fucking daring, only 80%. But that's as low as it goes in North America for Uncletopia. It's either 80 or 90. So when you put all of the servers together, you have 100 maps, and you basically have roughly around an 85% chance to be playing Payload, no matter which Uncle Topia server you're playing on. Next up, the Furry Pound. The Furry Pound, of course, is the Furry Pound, but let me just say, your chances of being groomed on this server are probably equal at worst, if not slightly less than Uncle Topia. So, honestly, I played this server before Castaway. This is probably the best option you had before Castaway was a thing. This is a vanilla server. They have crits. They have a server time limit. They don't run the fucking casual rule set. And, despite being full of fucking degenerates, you can play Team Fortress 2. So I played on it a while back, and some people gave me slack. Oh my god, he's played on the Furry Pound, fucking exposed. What a freak show! Like I'm just like there were no other options if you wanted to play a regular TF2 community server before Castaway actually started getting populated. So I regret nothing. It honestly wasn't that bad, except for one thing that really just like made the server kind of shit for me, and I got bored of it very quickly. The fucking map rotation. And as you can see here, you know what I'm talking about. It's basically the exact same shit as Uncle Topia when it comes to maps. I don't know what it is with these fucking people, but they're all obsessed with payload. Then you have the tiny kitty girl pound. No spread crits, good maps. They say good maps. So, this is basically an offshoot of the Furry Pound. I'm just going to treat it like that. I'm not going to say anything else about it. But they say good maps. That's what they advertise. So let's take a look at the top 10 maps. Let's take a look at their most popular rotation. And, there you go. PL Upward, PL Badwater, PL Pier, CP Steel, PL Borneo, CP Powerhouse, PL Swiftwater, Cough Harvest, PL Thunder Mountain, PL Frontier. 70% payload on one of their servers. And, when you get an exception for King of the Hill, it's always Harvest for some reason. That's the one King of the Hill map that you can actually play on community servers. Everything else, you're shit out of luck. Not a single 5CP map. And, in general, if good maps means payload 70% of the time, I guess I just have shit taste in maps, because that to me does not sound very appealing. But hey, the Kitty Pound has another server that fills up. They have two servers. And, maybe the other one, maybe it has a little bit better rotation. Maybe it has more game modes that are actually prevalent. So let's just take a look. 90% payload. Whoops. Okay, so that's the pounds taken care of. Let's take a look at another server that fills up in NA. Oprah's Payload Station. Yeah, I think you could guess. You could probably guess. Yeah, 10 out of 10 payload maps, 100% payload, 100% of the fucking time. So, if you're one of those people who just wants to play one game mode forever and fucking ever, this is the server for you. Gotta be honest, not for me. Not my kind of server, not my taste. I honestly don't get it. How do you people not get bored? Now it's time to mention the Zesty eCeleb server. So first of all, let me start by saying, okay, I'm going to try and be as unbiased as possible. This is a more or less a vanilla TF2 server, and it does fill up. So let's just take a look at the map rotation. So there you go. That's the rotation. First thing you notice is for some reason CP Powerhouse has 200 hours more play than any other fucking map, which is kind of bizarre. Other than that, you have two game modes. You have attack defense and you have payload. And when it comes to payload, it's 60%. 6 out of 10 maps. So, this is better than Uncle Topia, I guess. It's not 80% payload. It's not 90%. But it's still well over half. And there is not a single fucking King of the Hill map. There's not a single 5CP map. There's not a single CTF map in the top 10 that is represented. This is, for all intents and purposes, attack defense and payload city. So looking at the servers so far, I think we can state pretty definitively there's a little bit of a pattern here. Very obviously, payload is extremely overrepresented in the map rotations that we've looked at. And it is absolutely, without a doubt, the single most overplayed game mode, at least as it pertains to North American vanilla or, pseudo vanilla community servers. That's just a fact, and it's undeniable. So, with that said, is there even a single option out there for somebody in North America who wants to play on a server that actually lets you play a variety of different maps and game modes? Official maps, official game modes, stock Team Fortress 2, but not payload, half or, God forbid, 90% of the time. Is there a server that actually gives you actual variety when it comes to maps and game modes? Yeah, well, don't answer that. That's one of the rhetorical questions. I already know the fucking answer, and I'm going to tell you yes. Yes, there is. Enter castaway.tf. You got territory control, king of the hill, robot destruction, capture the flag, payload, 5 CP, and attack defense. That's 7 game modes in the top 10 that are represented. 7 different fucking game modes. If you want to get to a point where you have played 7 different game modes on an Uncle Topia server, you're going to have to play for 7 years straight. But getting to play 7 different game modes on Castaway, well, we just called that Tuesday. And just to prove that it's not a fluke, let me show you another Castaway server in North America. I showed you Virginia 1, now let me show you Virginia 2. And take a look. CP Granary, SD Doomsday, CP Badlands, PO Gold Rush, TC Hydro, RD Asteroid, CP Dust Bowl, CTF Double Cross, CP5 Gorge, King of the Hill Harvest. That's 8 different game modes. So we began with these terrible fucking server map rotations where 8 out of 10 servers are going to be one game mode, payload. And now when we went to Castaway, the promised land, this fucking paradise, we went from 8 maps in a single game mode to 8 game modes in the top 10 in the fucking server. That is, I mean, the contrast is just, it speaks for itself. What could I even say? I fucking love this server. I love Castaway like you wouldn't believe. This is just the best thing that has happened to the fucking server browser for TF2. I've been looking for a server like this for so fucking long. Like all I ever fucking wanted from a TF2 server was I wanted to get to play stock TF2, the real game, on all of the fucking classic maps and all of the classic game modes. And I'm not just talking about the wildcard maps and game modes, right? Like, I'm not just talking about Hydro and Asteroid and Doomsday. I'm just talking about something as simple as fucking 5 CP and King of the Hill and like getting an actual variety of maps from those fucking classic ass game modes that are actually represented in a community server. Like that's all I fucking wanted, and it has been impossible with any degree of consistency to find anything like that in the server browser for fucking years on end, dude. All you could fucking find for all of this fucking time has just been payload, 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 with a side of Dust Bowl and a High Tower, and maybe a Cough Harvest if you're really fucking lucky. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. How the fuck are people just going to sit there and play 20% of the game? And all of these other fucking game modes and all of these dozens of fucking phenomenal maps that this game has, we're just gonna fucking bury him and forget him. Let's just play Badwater, Upward Borneo, Barblitz, and fucking Dust Bowl. Like that's the game. Like, no, you're not fucking experiencing the full fucking game, bro. So that's why for someone like me, for someone who actually does appreciate this game fully, and for someone who actually does enjoy all of the fucking classic game modes and the fucking dozens of awesome maps that this game has to offer beyond Payload and Dust Bowl, community servers have just been a fucking dump for like a decade by now completely. And that's the reason why, despite the fact that I fucking despise casual matchmaking, like, I fucking preferred playing on casual than on community servers for all of these years. Because at least on casual, even with that fucking piece of shit fucking rule set, that dog shit ass round limit and all the problems that it has, at least I could get to play 5 CP for a little bit. Yeah, the fucking game is gonna end in 5 minutes, but at least I could play something that isn't fucking Badwater and Upward and Borneo. Most of the time, fucking compromising with casual matchmaking was preferable to playing the slop that I was gonna get on community servers. And all of that fucking changed. All of that changed when Castaway started taking off. And I don't have to compromise anymore. Because thanks to Castaway, I could play on a community server and I could play with the fucking quick play rule set. I don't have to deal with the bullshit of fucking casual matchmaking if I want to play this fucking game, Team Fortress 2, outside of one fucking game mode. And that's all I fucking wanted. So, once again, I love this fucking server. I said that before, I'll say it again. I fucking love Castaway. This level of variety is fucking unprecedented. This has not been seen in any community server that actually fucking fills up in at least the past 10 years minimum. I already adored Castaway because of the quick play rule set. I already told you about how much I love the weapon reverts and how much more fun the fucking game is when you have all of these options that are fucking viable again. But the fucking map rotation for this server, it's just the gift that keeps on giving. That like Castaway is just, I don't know. It's everything that I wanted from this fucking game. In fucking years of me playing it since the fucking quick play days, I have not been able to get the type of experience that I fucking finally got the chance to do so again, thanks to Castaway. And I cannot sing the praises of this server enough. It is fucking fantastic, man. And it's important to note this. Payload is still a part of the top 10. It's still represented. It's still a regularly played game mode. And for good reason. It's a great game mode. It's an enjoyable and really fun game mode. As long as you're not fucking force-fed it over and fucking over again. You know? Upward is a fucking phenomenal map when you play it once in a while and not every 2 fucking hours. So if you actually want to play this game, Team Fortress 2, the real game, and if you actually want to play this game outside of 1.5 game modes, all you got to do is join Castaway, baby. If you're an NA, it's a no-brainer. It is the best option, and nothing even comes close. So with that said, now let's take a look at Europe. So for Europe, just like in NA, let's begin with the Uncletopia Monopoly. And you may not have noticed, but I already showed you 4 different Uncletopia servers that fill up in Europe. I could forgive you if you didn't notice that I already showed you 4 different servers because the rotations are almost fucking identical. You had one server that was 90%, and then you had free that was 80% payload. So pretty much par for the course, same exact shit that we saw in NA. One thing that's worth noting is that for some fucking reason, one random ass Uncletopia server has fucking TC Hydro in the top 10. Like, you have all these generic fucking basic bitch shit ass maps, and this one fucking server for some reason has that one. Which, that's good. That's a good thing. Or it would be a good thing, except that server still is fucking 80% payload in the top 10, so it doesn't really fucking mean much, does it? So moving on from Grubertopia, you also got Skyle Payload. And, you could probably fucking guess. Yeah, Skyle Payload is all payload. Yeah, no shit. Then we go to Payload Beginners. And oh my fucking god, I wonder which mystery fucking game modes this fucking server is going to be running. All payload, of course, you already fucking know. One interesting thing is it's not even 10 payload maps. This is a server that runs payload only, and for some reason, it runs only 6 maps. And it doesn't even have the best fucking payload map in the rotation, which is Thunder Mountain. So, this is just a total fucking, joke server. Then you have THG, Trigger Happy Gamers. I have nothing against this server. In fact, I've heard that the server is pretty good. This was one of the options that you had before Castaway if you just wanted to play on a fucking server that plays the game. And I'm like, okay, well, this must be a good server. And then you take a look at the fucking map rotation. Why? Why, man? Why the fuck is it always payload? 80%. 8 out of 10 maps in the top 10 are fucking payload maps. Then you have Zesty eCeleb's EU server, and taking a look at this rotation, it's actually markedly better than what we've seen in EU so far. It's only 50% payload. Only 5 out of 10 maps are payload. And, I guess this is better than the NA eCeleb server. It's a little bit more varied, but I still gotta say, don't see a single King of the Hill or 5CP map in the fucking top 10, which is just bizarre, honestly. Like, I gotta say, it's fucking wacky. It's still half payload. It's still 50% one game mode. But, 50% is better than 80. Let's put it that way. Overall, not great, not terrible. In Europe, you also have this server. Why does every vanilla TF2 server out there have to be run by the most complete fucking degenerates is beyond me? Castaway's the one exception to that rule, by the way. We're very fucking pure because we're not talking about pounding and cocks in the fucking server name. I'm just gonna call this the Goblin server. I gotta be honest. Like you can't think of a better name, man. What the fuck is this? Anyway, this is a brand new server. I think this came online in like the past month or so. I haven't actually played on this server. Yeah, I'm too busy playing on Castaway, of course, but from what I hear, from what I can tell, this Goblin server is actually pretty decent. Like, for starters, it runs the quick play rule set, which is a very good thing. Now, see, if I was a fucking barbarian ape, what I would do when I see another quick play server out there that actually believes in the quick play rule set, what I could do is I could use my limited clout to publicly condemn and to shame and to slander and besmirch the server's name, even though I don't really know anything about it. But I guess I'm just not that kind of guy, because I'm not going to do that. And in fact, I think the opposite is what I'm going to do. Considering the fact that the quick play patriots already have a lot of fucking food on their plate, let's put it that way. We have to fucking fight against casual matchmaking, and we have to compete with the fucking Uncle Topia payload cartel in the server browser. We already have enough trouble. We have enough fucking enemies as it is. We shouldn't be attacking each other for no reason. And in fact, we should try and stick together if at all possible. Whatever minor disagreements we have, if we believe in quick play, if we believe in the quick play rule set, if we believe in the quick play movement, what the quick play patriots need to do is they need to watch each other's back and not fucking stab it. And taking a look at the map rotation, that is really fucking good. Like, that is actually fun. That is a fucking Castaway tier map rotation right there. Holy fucking shit. So, only 30% payload. And from what I could tell, that is 7 game modes represented in the top 10. That is very, very good. This is not an official endorsement. I want to make that very clear. If you go on the Goblin server and you get groomed, I am not legally accountable in any way. But going off of what I hear about this server, going off of the map rotation, I'm going to say that this is worth a shot. And this is the only server that comes even close to Castaway, map rotation-wise, anywhere that we've seen so far. NA, EU, this is the first one that even comes close. And since I mentioned Castaway, of course, the last vanilla server for EU is castaway.tf. And taking a look at the map rotation, that's a hoodie right there. That's a nice little map rotation right there. Only 20% payload. And you got some nice variety. And then, of course, this is Germany 1. Let's also check Germany 2. Basically the same story, only 20% payload, and you got a bunch of different game modes that are represented. So here you can see our results. In EU, as far as community servers go, you have 7 options for vanilla servers, and 5 of those options are very much focused and dominated by one game mode, and of course that game mode is payload. And just like in America, in Europe, the best server for you if you actually want to experience all of the game modes and all of the classic maps that this game has to offer, and you actually want some variety in your gameplay. And if you don't want to play Badwater and Upward and Borneo over and over again, the best option is castaway.tf. And another acceptable choice, surprisingly, is this Goblin server, which you could also try out. If both of the European Castaway servers are just completely fucking filled to the brim and you can't get in, the Goblin server might be an acceptable choice. Now, when it comes to Asia, you only have 2 options if you want to play stock TF2, non-modded, normal, vanilla, or at least pseudo-vanilla Team Fortress 2 on the community server browser. You got 2 options. One of those options is Uncle Topia, and as you can expect, as we have already seen in the previous regions, it's just payload central. Only 70% this time. Oh my god. Only 7 out of 10 maps. But, basically the same exact shit that we've seen on Europe and in North America. And then the second option, the superior option, the greatest option, the greatest community server ever made. Castaway, my beloved. And just take a look at that rotation right there. Just take a look at that. You got Harvest, Badwater, Steel, Powerhouse, Upward, High Tower, High Pass, Hydro, Cactus Canyon, and Freight. And just to give you a little count, that would be 7 different game modes in the top 10 rotation. That is pretty fucking good. And Payload only takes up 30%, 3 out of 10 maps. And that is a beautiful little map rotation right there. Yeah, that's a beautiful little top 10 right there, let me just say. When we started off in Asia, they had the fucking Grubertopia / casual disease. And they just wanted to play the most generic fucking maps possible over and over again. Payload, payload, payload. Maybe with a side of Harvest and Hightower. That's all they wanted. But I don't know how we fucking did it. I don't know how their fucking eyes opened. But the map rotation now is in a very good spot. They actually want to play all of the game modes. And these motherfuckers voluntarily fucking vote for Hydro. Like, they love that map now. Like, they fucking couldn't stomach anything that wasn't Payload or fucking Harvest when he started. And now they fucking want to play Hydro and they vote for it every fucking time it comes up. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened, but God bless, man. All I know is I am very, very proud. I seriously doubt that a single game on a full community server in Asia on fucking CP5 Gorge has ever filled up in the past 10 years before Castaway showed up. And now that shit is just a common occurrence. They play all of the fucking game modes. They like 5CP, they like King of the Hill, they like Payload, and they like all the wild card fucking game modes. Like, what can I say? I have nothing but pride for what this continent is doing right now. And let me just say, I am very proud of the Castaway Patriots over there in Asia. And I can proudly tell you that Castaway in this continent has been kicking Uncle Cook's bald ass out of the fucking server browser. We have been fucking burying Uncle Topia lately. I'm kind of ashamed to admit this, but, from the start, I was actually against the idea of Castaway opening up a server up in Asia. I thought it was a lost cause. I thought it was just going to be a fucking waste of time and it was going to be completely hopeless. And I couldn't be more happy to say that I was a complete fucking idiot and I was totally wrong. And I'm very glad that you guys proved me wrong. God bless all you Philippines, Indonesian, Chinese, Taiwanese, Afghan, and everything in between. My chiggas. God bless you, motherfuckers. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep up the good work. Let's fucking win this thing. Who would have thunk it? Asia is the first continent to be liberated from Uncle Topia oppression. And let me tell you something. This is a good omen. This is a sign of things to come. We fucking got Asia first. And believe me, mark my fucking words, we are going to do the same fucking shit in America and in Europe. You just wait and fucking see. Castaway is gonna win this thing. We have the mandate of heaven. So I think I can say quite confidently, after we've looked at all the data in these 3 continents, we could say 2 things. Number 1, there is a very small amount of vanilla community servers out there. There are not a lot of options. Maybe I'm missing something, but from what I can see, as far as vanilla servers that actually fill up, in North America, you only have 6 options, 6 different networks or whatever. In Europe, you have 7 different options. And in Asia, you have 2. That is a very small pool. And another thing that I think I've proven beyond any fucking reasonable doubt is that Payload is absolutely TF2's most overplayed game mode. Even when you're looking at vanilla community servers, even when you're looking at servers that say that they play all maps, it's gonna be Payload like well over half the fucking time on most of these servers. But the good news is that this Payload domination of the community server browser is no longer complete. We are actually starting to see community servers out there that actually let you play the real fucking game on all of the classic game modes and on all of the classic maps you can finally start seeing servers like this actually fill up every single fucking day. And you actually have that option where you can join these servers and you could actually play the real game on community servers outside of 1.5 fucking game modes. You know, in my last video, I told you that TF2 needs a community server revolution. Well, I gotta tell you, I think already what we've managed to achieve, with Castaway leading the charge in 3 different continents, is already pretty fucking revolutionary. So yeah, at this point, all I'm really hoping for is that Castaway keeps growing and we can continue to challenge this fucking despicable payload cartel and, actually get some fucking variety in the community server browser for some vanilla stock fucking servers. That's all I'm hoping for right now. And I hope that you agree and you can see where I'm coming from, right? And if you're one of those people who actually wants to play Team Fortress 2, the real fucking game, and you don't want to deal with that piece of shit fucking casual rule set, and you don't just want to play fucking payload, all you gotta do is join Castaway, baby. So as always, I'm going to tell you what I always tell you. Join the goddamn Castaway Steam group. Join the goddamn Castaway Steam group chat, where you will be notified of all the sessions where we're trying to fill up the servers in America, Europe, and Asia every single goddamn day. And you can find all the server IPs and our schedules on the castaway.tf website. I will see you on the server. Good night.
Eat that, boy.
Empieza Spy.
Oh yeah, baby.